Hi guys, and welcome back to the Pulse Sports Social Podcast. And in today's episode, we have Madge talking about how her work as a community volunteer coach with young people and how she keeps herself and her family fit with activities such as walks and going to the gym. So first of all, it's just how did you get involved with kind of volunteering, and how did you get into it?
It started off with my housing association, so they wanted some community champions, I think it was wellness champions, something like that, and they were offering residents the chance to train as gym instructors as part of that. So that was when I started formally doing some training. I'd always enjoyed sport and enjoyed being around other people. I worked in gyms, worked on reception, enjoyed the environment. So I thought that it would be like another step in terms of helping other people to enjoy that environment. So I thought if by training up, I could then get people into going to the gym if they weren't confident, or some of the things they had us helping with was things like helping older people, chair-based exercise, just helping them with remaining mobile.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you also you mentioned earlier that you had an injury that kind of halted the gym progress a little bit.
Yeah, so partway through, I think it was actually the first day of the gym instructor training. It was hilarious. It was in Soho Sports Centre in North London. And we had one day, I think, and by the next day I'd had to have an operation for a shoulder injury. So I did the rest of the course one-sided, but did persevere and did finally do the practical side of it. And that meant that I couldn't use one side of my body fully. I broke the shoulder, it's a bit complicated, got set, got infection. So the shoulder has never quite recovered. So what it means is I can't reach up and I can't demonstrate certain exercises. So I realised quite quickly that I wouldn't be able to show people everything I wanted to, but I still wanted to keep involved. And at the beginning of the process, I approached a homeless boxing club in North London who specialise mainly in working with people who are homeless, but also people with mental health issues, mums who couldn't get out, all sorts of community members could come along for free. And I'd already been in touch with them thinking I was going to be fit to instruct, but we continued the relationship and I ended up volunteering in a more informal basis as the kind of female rep. So other girls came in, I would train with them, I would befriend them, and also just generally for my own fitness, I went along to exercise. So the boxing club was absolutely amazing in terms of bringing on the strength of my shoulder and recovering from the injury. So it was kind of part of my recovery, my volunteering there as well.
Okay. What's been kind of your most favourite moment in coaching? What's been kind of the highlight standout moment?
I think at the boxing club, they used to get a lot of famous boxers come down. So they would come down to support people. So I got to actually spar with some of those. So that was amazing. They also got like Jeremy Corbyn's local. He came in and came boxing with us one day. So you would never know who would turn up, a film crew, a photographer. So that they really got quite a lot of community interest. So that was what I really loved, was sometimes it'd just be the normal people, and then other times someone would be coming in and showing you how to box. And it was just, you know, a great privilege because you wouldn't normally get in a ring with those people. So I loved that part of it.
Yeah. And then obviously subsequently, have there been any kind of low points or kind of challenges that you faced whilst coaching at all?
Well, the first bit in terms of being in a hospital bed and trying to revise for my exams for the thing was pretty low, and kind of, you could see everyone in the class kind of looking at me and going, so you're doing this, but you can't move. So there was that aspect. But I guess, yes, the being in the gym one-sided for a long time and trying to recover from that, and the sort of blow to not being able to move towards that area. But I think once you accept that, there's like a silver lining in it, in that I have to train. If I don't exercise, my shoulder hurts. So for life, I have a little nagging voice in my head that says, you better go to the gym this week, you better go swimming this week. And actually that's a positive, because without that, sometimes you get lazy. But when you realize that you have to do it, it's not like, oh, for vanity, or, you know, oh, I suppose I should do it because everyone else is doing it. It's actually, I have to do it or I suffer. So the positive out of it is it's given me that motivation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so you mentioned obviously coaching. What people do you coach, and what kind of sessions do you run? Also, you mentioned the boxing as well.
Yeah, so in terms of the formal things that I did was chair-based exercise in old people's homes. So going in and just getting them familiar with moving around, balance, one-to-one things. So perhaps going with a friend to the gym and helping them to become confident, or kind of on the community champion level, just always talking about sport, always signposting people, always promoting sport and promoting the things that are happening locally, and just with families, trying to get families involved, and just generally kind of helping people to realize what's accessible for free, or at very low cost, what they can do outdoors, even things like green gym. People don't know about that. So just always kind of saying to people, let's go out for a walk, let's have a walking meeting, and just generally making sport part of people's lives in a very easy and accessible way. And if they need help, like someone to go with them, great. Or if they just need a bit of, let's go ice skating, let's do this, and then suddenly they become more active.
You mentioned green gym. What's green gym?
Some parks have a small area where there's exercise machines, and you can use them for free in the outdoors. So you can go for a walk or run in the gym, and then you can do a bit of resistance training.
Yeah.
And they're pretty basic, but some places have like pull-ups and a couple of weights machines. And actually, if you can't afford to go to the gym, it's an easily accessible thing. There's other outdoor stuff which is really interesting, things like our parks, and other sort of free or low cost outdoor exercise sessions. So people don't know about park run. So sometimes in the community, just telling people these things exist, and they go, oh, actually, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back into running. And that little conversation could be the spark of them getting back into exercise.
Yeah, just kind of a gateway through.
Yeah,
absolutely. And obviously you mentioned that kind of you have a family as well. What sporting activities do you do with your family? What kind of, like, to get them involved as well?
Well, swimming, they've been going to swimming lessons since they were babies, so we can go swimming together if we want to, but generally it's me, like they're going swimming and I'm going to the gym, so we go there together, but they go off and do their own thing. But together they come and work out now. Our local gym allows junior gym from 11 to 15, so they're both now able to come to the gym with me. And I tried to work out but watch them, so if you see them doing very dangerous things, obviously I've got to be responsible. They're only allowed on certain machines. They're not allowed to use free weights. They're not allowed to use some of the cable machines, but other than that, they're kind of allowed free run of the gym. So it's really nice to watch them going around and learning, because as a young woman myself, a boyfriend got me into sport, but if he hadn't have done that, I don't think I would have been confident in the gym. I don't think I would have been able to go to the gym, see lots of big men working out and think, yeah, I belong here. And so what I'm trying to do with my kids is make them realize women do belong in the gym. It's okay to go in there. It's okay to do what you want. You don't need someone to sit there showing you how to do it. So I'm trying to give them that confidence. And then other stuff like we do family runs, things like fun runs like Westminster Mile, we've been doing for years. We did one that finished in the Olympic Park, and it was amazing. They got to run with Joe Pavey beforehand, practice running and get some running tips from her. And then we did a run that finished in the Olympic Stadium, and they got to see themselves crossing the finish line. So you get some really nice things with a fun run. They get a medal, they get to enjoy it, and it gets them into that kind of slightly more competitive idea of being first, so they can run faster than me now, and they just love like tearing off and going, yeah, see you at the end.
Yeah.
See you, mum.
And obviously you mentioned kind of obviously get going, like being a first-time gym user. I think it's quite daunting for anyone. But if you had like a bit of advice to give people, what would it be for someone kind of first starting out in the gym?
Well, I think it's things around, like, it really doesn't matter how you look. So some people probably think, I've got to have the right trainers or the right gym gear, or I've got to be a certain shape to fit in, or everyone's going to look at me because I'm not this gym person. But it's just remembering that everybody works out. So you've got all ages, you've got all sizes, you've got people who can't afford £100 trainers, they've just got their old scruffy ones on. It doesn't matter. Yes, there are people, I mean, I'm in Essex, of course you've got some gym posers, they do exist, but you don't have to buy into that. You can just go in there and do your own thing. And in doing that, the social aspect of seeing people on a regular basis who also enjoy the same things as you, I think you can't beat that feeling of kind of going in the gym, hi, how you doing? And you don't realise how much that's benefiting you, and how welcoming it can be once you start going to a gym regularly and everyone's friendly, and they take the time to kind of ask how your day's been. You're like, oh, they remembered me, and you might feel like when you're first going into a gym, like, oh, it's all so daunting, but actually in a short period of time, you will become a regular, and you will be yourself be kind of maybe showing people how to do things or helping out or being friendly. So it's just once you become part of somewhere, it really doesn't take long to feel at home.
No, I couldn't agree more. Just wanted to say a massive thanks for coming out and thanks for talking to us today. Really.
Okay, no worries.
And that's all we've got time for today. Thank you, Madge, for coming on our show and being one of our guests. And of course, thank you to all of our listeners as well. It's been great having you, and as ever, looking forward to next time. All the best. Bye.